अच्छा मुझे नजर नहीं आ रहा. Ah, come on. Okay, looks like we are live. Just give me 1 second to make sure.
I don't see it on your Facebook profile.
I can see it now.
Okay.
Literally, there we go. Yeah, I can see it. I can just hear myself as well. Acha, Instagram is the one that gives me more issues. Let's hope that is no. Oh, there we go. YouTube is we're on because it just gave me. Oh, yay. Okay, hopefully that's working. The love coach, I love that. All right. Mhm.
I shared it on my profile as well.
Oh, perfect. Thank you. I wonder if I can add your Insta profile. If it allow me to do that. Or maybe just one Insta.
I think maybe after we are done, we can add.
Okay, then I'll have to record or download it or something.
You know how we can uh, like request um, collaboration
Mm-hmm.
afterwards? So I
Okay,
think
okay.
that's what it
Yeah.
would be.
Okay, we'll see. All right, let's see. Okay, cool. We're good on Insta as well. And we can see both because last time what happened was they could see only just like parts of my face and um, I think it was Shireen's face. Okay, good. So we are good. Awesome. Okay, we can chit chat. We still have 5 minutes. Hold on. Let me see. Oh, I have to connect to the chat. There we go. See, this is the second time I'm using this, so I'm still a little like there are too many things happening on my
Oh,
screen. You
you're
can't.
doing so wonderful for just
Oh,
using
thank
it
you.
second time.
It's overwhelming because you have to connect to you have to individually connect to the platforms, and then unfortunately you can't see the chat. Only I can. So and then I have to connect individually to each chat as well. So and it doesn't tell me where who's chatting from. So it's limited. And I'm like, okay, no worries. As long as you're getting somewhere with this. All right, cool. So my chats are connected and we are connected. And yeah, this is good. Okay. So do you have any plans for the rest of the day?
So today is a rainy day. I'm not sure if it's a rainy day for you guys too.
Yep.
It's cold and rainy. We are back in winter. So today, all day, I'll be studying. Today is a study day.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I'm catching
Yeah,
up
it's
with
raining.
my recorded classes that I was too busy to attend, and then other classes and watching the recordings.
So I signed up for a live class and I was like, I'm going to attend it live because I know I'm not going to watch the replay or I'm going to fall asleep
Yeah.
listening, just watching it.
Yeah.
So,
I'm in three different programs right now. Like two are for my own personal development, and one is for like, business development.
mm.
And they all are in the nighttime. Like this new one I started, the call starts at 10 p.m. It
Oh
goes
my God,
till
10
like
p.m. Where are they based?
so they are based in Hong Kong, I believe,
Oh,
that
okay.
area.
Hmm.
Yeah. And I have a mentor who's in Bali, so everything starts like 9 p.m.
Yikes. Okay, by then I'm like, I
And
can't
other
think of it,
yeah,
yeah.
other mentor, they are in the US, but their class somehow starts 8:30 p.m. So I had to, like, especially for this year, I had to change my schedule. I'm a person who'll be in bed by 9 p.m. and sleeping by 9:30, so it's interesting.
Go to the kitchen. Huh? I just got one. Okay, I don't know. What is that? What just happened? Oh, can you see the chat?
Yeah, yeah, I can see it.
Oh, now you can see it. There we go. That's all I had to do. But then our names go disappear, right? There we go. Yeah, that's okay. I guess should we keep the chat on?
It's up to you. We can keep it on.
Yeah, let's do that. So then you can see the chat as well, which is great. I think it'll be. I don't know who this is. Go to the kitchen. Why am I going to the kitchen? That's interesting. Okay. There we go. All right. We still have 2 minutes.
So, do you have any plan for the rainy day?
I do have, as always, dentist appointments for my kids, and then I have a session right after. Yeah, it's just one of those days that's the go 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 days, which
Yeah.
I feel most of my days. Like I'm always on the road driving, picking, dropping, the typical.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, some days I dream of the time when my son will be driving himself and how would my life would be like. What would I do with all the free time?
Really, eh? No. So my daughter just turned 16, so she's supposed to get her license, but we don't have her photo ID yet. So once she does that, she's like, "Oh, I'm gonna be taking the car." No, no, no. You still have another year before you can drive on your own ish. So my fear is her taking the car when I need it. So that uh, we'll just have to work out a schedule, I guess.
Yeah.
I don't know what this means, but I'm just gonna leave it here. It's
I think maybe it was meant for a different text and they ended up sending it here.
possibly. I'm just seeing what other options I have. I'm just playing around with this now. This is fun. Okay. Oh, they have a prompter too. That's so cool. It's a nice platform, one stream. And I can have 6 guests. Ah, wow.
That's wonderful.
Yeah. Bless Michelle, my VA, for finding us. She's listening. Hey, Michelle. Michelle, can you type in a hi? So I want to see if it shows where you're chatting from. She's listening. Here she said, all right. Yeah, it's showing me YouTube is live. Perfect. All right, it's 12 o'clock. Awesome. All right, Alia, thank you for joining us. Thanks for taking out time for us. And I'm just intrigued to learn more about what you do. I know I have an idea. We've spoken before as well, but I want our viewers to know what you are all about. How can you help us? And the interesting part about not only are you a love coach, and I'm just going to let you introduce yourself, but you're also a pranic healer. And I want to know more about that as well in a bit. So off to you. Here's the floor. Alia, please introduce yourself and let us know more about you.
Oh, thank you so much, Huma, for having me here. I'm so excited for this initiative that you're, bringing this opportunity for so many practitioner and also helping your audience, understand and realize how many resources they are available. So
Absolutely.
I would say my name is Alia. I am the love coach, and the medicine that I bring is love, and it's unconditional self-love. A lot of people, they talk about love and they are like, yeah, I love myself, I have a healthy sense of self-love. But when we go to the extra mile called unconditional self-love, very few people end up walking on it, because that is when we get to separate from our humanness and we get to become one with our soul. And it's a very spiritual work that we do. The methodology that I use, of course, I am trained, like, with all kind of coaching certificates and whatnot, but the
Yeah.
methodology that I use is um, healing the heart, opening the heart. So as you introduce, I'm also a prana healer. I have taken my study of the energy body and integrated it all that I have learned about the body and the mind and unconscious mind and whatnot, and also the soul journey. and combine it together. So I help a person move out of their head into their heart. I can see when the heart is open, when it's closing. So I teach my clients that too. Like, oh, right now, your heart is open. This is what closes your heart. And over time, they become sensitive to that energy too. Like anything else, when we work with a modality, we become sensitive to it. So then they start seeing, okay, now my heart is closed. Oh, these are the symptoms that happen when my heart is closed. Oh, now I'm in my mind, and how to be able to make that switch. So that is kind of like, learning. This tool is available to us, but then the real magic happen when we do start to live from the heart. We get to um, master the physical world. So that mastery, that self mastery, and then mastery of the physical world, I think that is where my joy is. And it can happen only from a place of unconditional love, because when we are turning against ourselves, when we are criticizing ourselves, when we are so attached to our fears, our heart is closed. Yeah, we'll have a decent life, we'll have an impactful life, but we would not have the life that our soul came here to live. So I am all about loving myself to the level where I would fully open myself so my soul can live through me. So the ego can, like, take a back seat, and soul can take over. And every single soul has come here to help other humans. Like, you're here, you're helping so many humans every single day. And our talents are not for ourselves, and we get to extract them even more when we are fully in love with ourselves. So that is what I do.
Yay, awesome. No, I love the whole love thing because it took me a while to understand that you have to operate from love. And then I don't know if you can see the map of consciousness behind me, but that's also obviously we can reach the topmost frequency, but even if we can just bring ourselves to that level on the frequency of love, and like you said, life is going to be so much more meaningful. Oh, thank you. Let me just put that up. It says someone just wrote, I can't see who, but somebody on Facebook wrote, nice to see two awesome healers together here. Thank you. Um, so yeah, the concept of love, especially I'm going to generalize and say, in our culture is it's selfish. You shouldn't be loving yourself, right? And self-love is selfish. That's like so common, right? And you obviously come across people who feel that, no, I can't love myself. No, I have to think of others. I have to sacrifice. I have to compromise. And then what happens to us is we just pour, give, 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 and then we reach a burnout, mental health issues or physical issues that it just manifests into that. So I totally understand how important self-love is, but can you just shine some light on the separate the two, selfish and self-care and self-love? How would you convince I guess our
Yeah.
audience that self-care is not selfish, I guess?
Yeah. So that is where I love to go so much deep and
Right.
get
Yeah.
honest. And when people have that light bulb moment, I'm like, yeah, now you're supposed to love yourself.
Yes.
So generally, when a person is told you need to serve other people, they are serving from a place of, I will give you, and then you'll give me back, or someone else will give me back. So it's not selfless. It's very selfish. If you want to become a true selfless person, where unconsciously you're not expecting anything,
Hmm.
very quickly bringing motherhood, especially in our culture, our kids are our retirement plan. We expect our kids to take care of us
You be my crush. Yeah.
financially, physically. So, like, I'm not sure if you are at that age with your kids, but I heard it from my parents, and I'm trusting I would not become like that. I raised you for this day. I raised you. Why you're not giving that? That's not selfless love. That is very conditional love. So if I want to be a mom who can truly love my child unconditionally, then I need to have that energy within me. I need to be connected with that energy within me. If I
Hmm.
don't love myself, I'm going to expect my child to love me. And there's so many parents, like, they see your non, they see parents. There's so many parents sitting out there who, like, their kids have left home and they don't feel loved by their kids. Well, it's not the kid job to love you to begin with, but if I never learn how to love me, I'm going to look it from outside of me. So
Correct.
then I'm a person who's like, very loving, very kind. I'm a good host and I'm always serving other people, but unconsciously there's always a hidden agenda. So
Mm.
most people who think they are so selfless, they are one of the most selfish people. Like the peacekeepers, very selfish people. People pleasers, very selfish people. They think they are selfless, but they're not selfless. Like, once you get into the consciousness, what's going on under the hood, they are very selfish people. People who think like they have really big heart. Most of them very selfish people, because that is who they think they are, because that is maybe what they were told they should be. But a true selfless person is who love themselves so much, they fill themselves up so much that they don't need any energy from anyone. So let's say if I give my example, I don't need my husband's love. I don't need my child's love. I don't need a praise or something from anyone, because
Right.
I'm giving that to myself every single day. I'm looking at myself, I'm acknowledging that within me. So then when I am so full, I'm going to look at my husband and I'm going to say, how can I make his life better today? What can I do for him today? So maybe, like, I'll run errands for him, I'll make nice food for him, I'll just do whatever, I'll massage him, whatever I want to do for him, right? But I'm not expecting anything in return because I'm already full.
Mm.
So he's going to feel Alia is pouring into me. So naturally, he would want to pour into me. So that is a very different dynamic in our relationship versus where I'm thinking, I'm the wife, I did all this for you. Now you better do this for me. Sometimes we don't verbalize it, we don't say those
Mm.
things, but we do have those expectations.
Expectations. Correct.
So expectations go away when we fill ourselves up by ourselves. And that is when we truly become a selfless person.
And that's work. That is work. To
That is a lot of work. It's a
unlearn
lot
all
of
the,
work.
yeah. I
Yeah.
oh, I totally get it. Yeah.
I keep getting into sometimes, like, because it's still a new relationship, so I'm getting to practice all that I have learned in the past few years. Like, I'm getting to practice it. But with my son, I see, like, sometimes I do expect him to treat me certain way, and then I catch myself, and then I have a conversation with myself. If I respect myself, if I value myself, I don't need that from him. So
Mm.
once the need is out, then I can parent him like, listen, this is not a kind way of operating in the world. Now, I'm not pissed about why he talked to me in that tone. Now,
Right.
now I can be a present parent and I can parent him from a place of love versus this is how you should behave. So, I believe unconditional self love, not just the self love, unconditional self love makes us selfless, because
That's
then we give without any expectations. And unless we have done that work, people who think they're selfless, they're actually not. Like some people, they're doing things for other people because they're like, God would reward me. So there's some kind of reward system going on.
so you just have to be like a clean slate. Like I'm doing this and I expect nothing. But that's a very difficult stage to reach because
It's
we're
a
trained, do this, you will get that. You don't do this, you don't get that
Yeah,
kind of thing, cause and effect kind of thing.
yeah. It's a place where you're complete. You
Yeah.
don't need anything from anyone. And to get to that completion, that's why I love bringing people into their heart, because, front heart has its own flavor, back heart has its own flavor. My advanced student or my advanced client, they get to work on their back heart. And when we start to clear energy from that, they start to just feel more full, like their posture will change. And that is when they start to experience their soul in a different way. So when I am connected with my soul, I can only connect with my soul when my heart, front and back, are wide open. That does require a lot of, like, trauma work that you do too, and also, like, rewiring our identity. For us women, especially for us South Asian women, our identity is whatever we've been told
That is true.
over like multiple generations. So, that is a identity of a woman who's living in this world. But what is my true identity as a soul? When we connect with that, so let's say now my heart is wide open, I am one with my soul, I can take all the energy from my soul.
Mm,
I don't
that's
need that energy from my son, from my husband, from a stranger, from my
from your cats.
family. I can, like,
Yeah.
I have my own source of supply. I can get all the love from there. I can get like all the warmth from there. Sometimes, like, I don't even get hungry because I'm getting that energy from my soul. So, um, it's really deep work. But when we get to that
Mm,
level, that is when I just share now.
magic happens. Yeah, yeah,
I just
sure.
share now. But one of the things that I enjoy is that is when we get to work with the concept liquid reality. I can mold and change the reality. I can influence other people in a different way.
Wow.
Um, because
That sounds so interesting. What did you say? Liquid what? Liquid?
liquid reality. So, for
Reality.
example, let's say, like, I'm experiencing X, Y, and Z in my day.
Mm,
And I look at it and I'm like, I don't like it. I want it to be something else. But I'm not coming from a place I don't already have it. I'm not coming from lack. I'm not coming from
mm,
fear. No worries. I am purely like, how you get Play-Doh and you're like, what am I going to make with it? Well,
right.
I made an elephant. That elephant looks so weird. Let me try making a cat out of it. It's that
Mm,
kind of feeling, that
right.
kind of mastery over your life. I think that is the most joyful part of the hard work and the unconditional self-love. So what I get to create in my life is just so much fun, and then I see my clients being able to create that. It's so much fun. I believe that is the true power of a human being. Like, we came here to really master the physical reality and share the divine light within us with as many people as we can.
Right. Absolutely. I love that. Liquid reality. And yeah, and we need to make life fun. We make it so stressful because we're trained to sit at the edge of the seat and say, prepare for the worst. What's the worst? Prepare for the worst outcome and situation. And we're always like, and when my clients come to me, they're like so tensed and stressed and anxious because they're worried about the future. And then I was like, we just have fun with life. What if it doesn't work out? Yeah, but what if it does work out? Why don't you
Yeah,
focus on that? And yeah, it's a lot of unlearning and unhypnotizing, and just rewiring and relearning, as to just work from your heart. And just that's what Dr. Joe Dispenza says, right? He goes, just
yeah,
fall into your heart, just follow your heart. Even the
yeah,
song, follow your heart. It's all about love, and I love that. And
yeah,
again, like I said, it took me a while to understand that concept too, because obviously, because we're wired in a certain way, especially as women. And to your point, who are we, right? I'm Myra's mom. I'm Zishan's wife. I'm Zenat's daughter. I'm Hiba's sister. But who's Huma, right? And I'm like, how many of you actually sit down and think, who are you? What do you like? I'm like, even if you just, and there's no me time concept, right? And
yeah,
I'm like, no, no, no. At least start with 20 minutes a day, and just take out that time. 20 minutes for you, that's your me time. That you are Alia in those 20 minutes. You're not mom or sister or wife or anybody. You are Alia. I am Huma. What does Huma want to do in those next 20 minutes? And I'm going to do just that. Even if it's just sitting and staring at a blank wall, right? Do that. There's just 20 minutes for you to just kind of reset, or just you. And a
yeah,
lot of people don't even know who they are,
yeah,
especially in our culture, because we're always on the go. We're doing this and we're dropping the kids and we're cooking and we're juggling life and work and what have you. And I'm like, no, no, 20 minutes a day, at least start with that. And then I'm crazy. So I have a lot of my me times. And I need that because I come back home a happy mom, a happy wife. I'm recharged. I've had my kicks of whatever I need at that time. And I'm like, this is what I want to do. If I want to go for a late night coffee drive, just me, music, my car, I'm going to do that because that's what Homa wants. And I need to give
yeah,
that to Homa because I love her. I want to take care of her. And this is the way. And it's different all the time. So yeah, operating from love changes a lot of things. And again, you're not being selfish. It's just, but you're coming back happier, right?
yeah.
Coming back
And
recharged.
you're not expecting your family to carry you
No, exactly right.
because
Yeah.
you're carrying yourself. So that is true selflessness. You're not expecting them to carry you, and we don't realize that. And even when you were saying, like, operate from heart and come into your heart, when I came across that terminology, I was like, oh, I live in my heart and this and that.
Mm.
And when I learned the real work, I was like, oh, okay. And even last year, like, for those people who are watching, last year I met my soulmate, got married. It's just a different flavor of the
Right?
relationship,
Yeah.
very different. I do teach my clients that work, but going through it myself, and I had to do that level of hard work. Oh my God, there were so many tears. It was so painful. And as I was going through it, I was like, oh my God, I can't believe I take my clients through this. No wonder they cry most of the time. I'm
Oh,
like,
yeah,
yeah.
yeah. But that's a good release. I love it. I love it when clients cry because
So
they're just releasing.
yeah,
Yeah.
going through that and realizing, oh, so this is what it means to be in your heart in this area of my life.
Right.
And then November of last year, my mentor said, like, you're still not letting your heart open. And I was like, okay, like, what part I'm not letting open? So she guided me into that, and I go a little deeper. And the deeper I go, so for my own personal development, whatever class I show up for, it's all about getting deeper into the heart and exploring another layer
Mm-hmm.
of the heart, not the mind, not my ego, but
Mm.
another layer of my soul, and connecting with that energy. Um, so now when I hear a mentor say, like, get into your heart, I'm like, yeah, there's so many like layers to it. There's a deep staircase. You get there and you're like, yeah, I'm gonna give to myself. When you start the it's a journey. When you
Mm.
start the journey of unconditional self-love, who I'm becoming every day, I'm falling so much in love with her. What I'm able to do for other people, I'm so in love with that act of service as well. And
Mm.
who I get to be, like, I started my journey 10 years ago from being extremely depressed and suicidal. That is where I started my journey 10 years ago. Like, who I get to be today, like this emotionally independent beacon of light, it's all heart's work. And when I just look at my own journey, I'm like, you're truly becoming selfless now.
Mm.
If somebody told me 11 years ago, I'll say I'm a very selfless person. I show up, whoever needs help, I'm always there, I'm overgiving. But I was very selfish. That's why my heart was having problem, because it was saying, hey, you're not living as your soul. So that suppression was creating depression within me. But now that I'm more aligned, I'm happier, and I can give more, and I can give from a place of no attachment. So I,
Correct.
I think once we make the decision to go through the journey itself and not just assume that one day I'm just gonna end up in my heart, like, how you work with clients, they can listen to a hypnosis session on YouTube, right? But when
Mm.
they come to you, they transform. They
Correct.
transform in such a different way, because now they are working directly with an expert who knows the nooks and crannies of their unconscious mind. You know how to help them navigate through that. So I think taking the time to invest in ourselves, to build that muscle, to activate that muscle, is truly the work. And a lot of people, unfortunately, don't even know about this work.
Yeah, they don't. Yeah, absolutely. That's why I'm like, no, I need Alia. I need Alia to explain people. Fall in love with yourself. Cliche. I know you hear that all the time. But truly, really start to love yourself. And I used to do this initially 9 years ago when I graduated. Oh no, wake up in the morning, look in the mirror and say, I am enough. I love you. I trust you. And I'm like, you know what? You can't just get up in the morning and say it. And maybe some people do find that transformative, but I'm like, no, we need bridging words. I'm starting to love myself. I'm starting to trust myself. And that kind of opens the door for the subconscious mind to say, yeah, okay, I can work with that. And the more you do it, and then obviously there's more work. And it's not uh it's deep work, but it's not a lot of work. Like, I mean, it's
It's very simple.
It's simple work, but and it's powerful, but it takes time, and we need to give ourselves that time, have that patience with ourselves, because like I said, we've been programmed in a certain way, and now we have to kind of unlearn all that and then rewire. But again, it's not difficult. It's just some work that we need to put on, that awareness,
Yeah.
bringing the awareness to do the work. So Alia, what does your sessions typically look like? Just an overview of how
Yeah.
do we start
Yeah.
to, fall into our heart and just spread that,
So
give
so
that.
my program is a year long,
Hmm.
because as you said, it does take time to even get
Hmm.
the deeper layers of who am I.
Absolutely. Yeah, who am I?
But then at the same time, like someone can come to me for a session and I teach them this. I help them heal that tiny part within them, where they come more in alignment with their soul. So it's almost like, you learn in just one session. You learn how to open the window and put your hand out and
Right.
feel the breeze, and
Oh,
just that
this sounds
makes
so
you feel
good.
so good,
Yeah.
right? So that is something I do in just one session. So let's say if
Mm,
someone, for example, let's say someone got laid off, right?
mm,
And they're like, okay, what do I do with that? That is like, so crazy. So
mm,
I'm going to take that scenario with them, help them open their heart, open their solar plexus chakra,
mm-hmm.
heal that tiny thing within them that keeps creating the reality where they end up in a layoff situation every few years. And it's not like if you're in tech, you must get laid off. That's not true. We are creating that reality. And then they walk away, and then they just have a practice, a personal compassion practice, where they learn how to shift their reality in that tiny area. So I really enjoy. I have seen, like, a lot of transformation in my clients just with one
Sure.
session.
Yeah.
And
Mm-hmm.
most of the time, then they come back, then they're like, okay, I'm ready to learn and master this. Because the most powerful thing about hard work is you get to master your reality. Like, for the viewers, just to give a background about me, about 5 years ago, I went through divorce, and it was like, after 5 very painful years that made me who I am today, I was finally able to go through divorce. So, usually we go through divorce, we hate the other person, and we are miserable and whatnot. I looked at my life and I was like, what kind of divorce life I want to create? What kind of co parenting experience I want to create? And I was able to create exactly that. But for that,
Wow.
I had to be a different version of me,
Right.
and I had to extract the different version out of my ex as well.
Mm.
So I cannot say, oh, my ex is a narcissist, crazy, and this and that. I have the power to experience that person in a different way. But I
Mm.
can do that only when I am sitting on the driver's seat, which is my heart. I cannot be in my head, because my head will say, look at what happened in the past, look at this person. I
Yeah.
know how they are.
Absolutely.
Like,
Mm.
I think where we get in trouble with our relationship will be like, I know this person is like that.
A
So
bit of
that is,
ego. Ego comes in. Yeah. Would that be
it's
right to
like,
say?
I want to be right. So that
Yeah.
is my ego. I know that's how that person is. So my favorite thing to bring to my sessions with my client is like, but what if they can be something different?
Mm.
And then they're like, no, I have been with them for 20 years. That's how they are.
Yeah.
But when we start to extract a different energy from that person,
Mm.
then they become a very kind person. Like, I have practiced this, seen changes within 30 minutes, within 12 hours, and there have been like some very crazy incidents. So now I live a life where I'm like, I created a minute at a time, so I cannot really blame anyone if something happened that I'm not very happy with it. I go
Mm.
with it from my heart first. I look into like what part needs to shift within me. Where am I out of alignment with my soul? Is there a fear? Is there a worry? Is there
Mm.
some kind of like, judgment going on? Judgment is the big one that closes our
Oh,
heart.
good one. Yep. Hmm.
And judgment is the hardest to get out of. We judge ourselves, we judge other people. So that is how we
Absolutely.
very
Mm.
easily close our heart. So, I shift those things within me, and within few minutes, everything in my physical reality shifts. So I feel it's such a wonderful way of being a human.
like magic. What you're
It is
describing.
like magic.
Magic. Yeah. You shift
It
it.
is
Yeah,
like
you're
magic.
actually right. You shift your internal, compass and everything external. Well, not everything, but most of it changes,
Yeah,
and it doesn't even affect you in that way, right? You're not reacting now. You're responding. You're like,
yeah,
okay, whatever, let them be, kind of thing.
yeah.
It's like
And
easy.
also it's like, I don't live here. I don't
Mm,
live here. I don't live in whatever is going on. I live in a very powerful place where I am one with my soul. And from that place, I'm controlling this reality. So I think I really enjoyed that part. I don't live in the drama. If I do
mm,
come across drama, I am living in a different space internally. And from that place, I can control things in this physical world. Like, even with my son goes through his emotions and whatnot,
of
and then
course.
like, I believe it was 2 years ago, he was having very hard time emotionally, very hard time. There was like stuff going on between him and his dad.
Mm,
On day 3, I realized I was telling myself in my mind my son is having hard time, and I caught myself. And then I took a deep breath and I said, You're creating that yourself, Alia, because you're believing in it.
mm,
So then I took a deep breath, came into my heart, realized there was fear for my son, there was worry for my son, and of course I was judging his dad too. So one by one I worked through that, my heart opened. I could see the situation in a very different way. Love for him, love for his dad, love for myself. And then I said, What do you want? I focused on that reality. So it's like now the beam is there, but from an open heart, not from a place of lack.
right.
Within an hour, everything shifted. They both made it. Like,
Wow. Wow.
they were like happy. They went out, they ate food. And I just sat there. I was like, Your heart was closed, and this is what you created. So I feel like it's such a powerful tool, and in my opinion, it's um it's good if every human can learn it. We will live in a very different world if every human is working on their heart to keep it open and
Mm,
aligned with their soul. But even if one person does it, it changes whole family. As you have seen, like the more you're going towards love first,
yes, my
your family is changing.
yeah,
Everything
it
is
is.
changing in your
It is
life.
absolutely, yeah. I just remember Disney. Love conquers all. Disney's message is it's all about love,
Yeah,
right? At the end of the day,
yeah,
but I think it's just that we just don't understand that love is not an outside thing. It's an internal
yeah.
thing, and we need to
So
align ourselves
thanks
with.
to thanks to all the movies that we have watched, we understand love as an emotion,
Mm,
but we don't understand love as an energy.
mm. Wow, that's
When
beautiful.
when
Okay.
we are in our heart, that is love as energy. And that energy heals anything. This world was created out of love. There's a power that loved us and created us.
Mm,
So when I align myself with that energy, my body heals, my relationship heals, my whole life heals, the world heals. So we keep going back into, like, that romantic
mm,
emotion of love, which is like, very fleeting and very temporary. um, but even in relationship, we want to connect with the energy of love, where even if someone is not kind to me, I can maybe create a distance between me and them, but that I can still love them, I can still
mm.
send them love. I'm not thinking, oh, they're wrong, I'm right, or judging them.
Correct.
No,
Yeah.
it's a bond of love. Just in this moment, it's better for us to not be in the same room, maybe. So I think it's the energy of love and versus emotion of love, where all of us, like most of us, we get confused, and then we're just like, let's just ditch love and let's just stick with, I'm gonna be hard on myself.
Right. Okay. And I was just telling my client, oh, just send that person love. And she's like, I can't send them love. I'm like, I know, I hear you. I'm like, I can't forgive them. I'm like, no, it's not about forgiving them. It's about just surrendering to the whole idea and just operate from that love energy. And she goes, oh, but I hate this person. I'm like, nope, crisscross. No, just send them love and light and see how things change for you. So it's a difficult concept to,
Yeah,
send love to somebody who's just hurt you, for
yeah.
example.
And when we come into our heart and we are aligning with our soul,
Mm,
intuitively we start to have a feeling, but
Mm.
of course the concept exists too, then me and you are not separate to begin with.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So if I'm hating a person, I'm actually hating myself.
True.
So that's why hate never feels good.
Mm.
Resentment never feels good, but love feels good somehow,
Oh, it
because when
does.
I
Fuzzy.
love another person, I'm loving myself, because we are one to begin with. We came from source, we are one energy. Just an illusion of separation, like you're there, I'm here, but we are one.
Wow, that's amazing. Thank you, Alia. There was a question. I'm guessing this was a question. If you can, oh, hold on, read that. Can you see that,
How does love?
guys? If you're watching live, if you have any questions for Alia, please write them down and I'll read them for her.
So the person is saying, how does love become possessive or needy? So that's not love. See, again, it goes back to like what we have been conditioned, what love is supposed to be. I love you, Huma. You can only be my friend. You cannot be someone else's friend.
Right.
That's codependency. That's not love, my friend. That's
Correct.
not, that's codependency. That is a person who doesn't feel secure in themselves, and they are like, you are going to fill my bucket every single day. um, we call that neediness, codependency. Love is, I am full, I am complete, I am whole. And now let me come together with it. It seems like this question is coming about romantic love, and let me come together with this another person who's whole and
Mm-hmm.
who's complete, and let us create a different experience of life, or let's see what kind of experience we can create, or let's see how can we together experience life. And I'm personally living that. I mean, whatever I teach it from embodiment. I'm personally living that. Life is so much different, so much different, because I'm not trying to fix my partner, he's not trying to fix me. I know he doesn't need anything from me. He knows I don't need anything from me. So we come together and then we just share that love. So we both are full all the time. And that is true love. But it is energy of love. It's not emotion of love. Emotion of love goes up and down, and a lot of people when they get married or they are in a relationship, or even if they buy a house, or even if they start a new career, they're so in love with it, and after 5 years they're like, I don't like that. I hate it. Because they went with the emotion of love, not with the energy of love.
So I have a question for you. How do you distinguish between the emotion and the energy?
So when you're connected with the divine within a thing or a person
Mm.
or a project, you're aligned to the energy of love.
Mm-hmm.
But if you're going with how does it make you feel,
Hmm.
you're in emotion of love. For
Okay.
example, if I have a plant in my home, and
Hmm.
when I look at the plant, I see my creator in the plant.
Hmm.
I see the magic, like even when the one leaf comes out, I'm like, wow, creator made that happen.
Right.
I am in love with the plant, but I'm also in love with the creator. So I am aligned with my source. It's not going to be hard for me to take care of that plant. It's not going to be hard for me to remember to nurture that plant. But on the other side, let's say I went to the nursery and I saw this plant and I'm like, oh my God, I love it. It would be so good for my, decor, and it would align. And I bring it, and then, I realize I keep watering this plant, but then I forget watering this plant. And then it's just like, dying on me. I'll be like, forget it. It's so hard to take care of this plant. I'm just going to toss it in the garbage.
Hmm.
That's emotion of love,
Right.
where I focus on how does it make me feel versus can I see the divine in it.
Oh, that's beautiful. That's
So like we can bring it to car too. When I see my car as the manifestation of divine energy into this beautiful piece of machinery, it would be easy for me to take care of my car. But when I look at it, oh, this car looks good on me.
as an object, I guess. Yeah.
After 5 years, I'll be like, there's another car that looks
This is
good on
one that
me.
looks
I
good on
want that
me.
one.
The lease is up. All right, let's go.
Exactly.
Okay.
So
So
of
those
course
are
there.
so. if I can
the,
just summarize it, it's the emotion of love is more temporary and it's just in the moment and more external.
it's about what can this thing give to me,
Okay.
what is in it for me. It's
Hmm.
very like, it's just for myself. And of course there would be some things in our life that are,
Yes.
that are just for ourselves. For example, I look at my clothes.
Mm.
I like a piece of clothing, and I'm like, it will look good on me, and after 2 months I just get bored, so
Right.
I get a different one. But then there are some pieces of clothing I'm just in love with it.
Mm.
I cannot put my finger on it, but there's just something so special about that.
Right.
And those are the pieces, even if we don't fit in them, we hold on to
It's
them.
one day I'll fit into it. Bag. I have that
and
bag.
and it's just like having that, because
Yeah.
somehow somewhere I connected with the divine in that piece of fabric.
Mm.
So when I look at a thing and I don't need anything from it, and I can just see perfection in it, that is when I am truly in love with it, because now I'm in love with the divine power within it. There's a concept that my mentor taught. He said, don't go for the things, go for the energy behind the things. So let's say I wanna get a home, and I'll be like,
Mm.
oh, let me get a home. But what is the energy behind that home? How would I feel energetically being in that space? Who would I become being in that space? When I start focusing on the energy, the home comes automatically, and I end up in that home, and I am not worried about will I be able to make the mortgage payment and the rising taxes. The worry leaves your life then. There's no fear, there's no worry, there's no anxiety or overthinking or doubting, because your heart is wide open.
Wow. Okay, I never thought of it like that. So if I want a new phone, instead of pestering my husband, I should just think about the energy behind it, and
Of
it'll come.
course. So I would tell you this, like, the phone, where does it come from? It comes from the light. So if you just feel the light blessing you with that phone, you might
Hmm.
just win it. In, like, you go to a store, they're like, oh, like, first 10 customer, you're getting a new phone. You can get
Wow.
it like that. um it becomes so much easier to live. Like,
Easier.
that is how I manifest. People talk about manifestation. The true manifestation machine is your back heart. When your back heart is wide open, you can collapse time, you can attract things like
Yeah.
nothing
Alia,
else.
that's like sounds so good to be true. Oh my goodness. So
I live like that, Fuma. I live like
I
that.
know. That's why I was like, okay. So tell me, you said you keep saying front heart and back heart. And do we have any more parts to it, or is it just the front?
So this is how I work with it. I know
Yeah.
some people, they're just like drop into the heart. It's just me bringing all the stuff I have. It's my own way of explaining it. So the
Okay.
front heart is, that is the energy of unconditional love.
Mm-hmm.
When I love a person, when I love an animal, when I love a plant, I'm coming more from my heart, like the front, right?
Okay.
I can be very giving. So people who think they are very giving, they think they have very big heart. That means they must live in their heart. But
Mm.
they keep all the trauma goes to the back heart. So
Mm.
I am very giving to you, but I would not let you get close to me, because
Mm.
my
You
back
have like
heart is close.
a
A
wall.
wall.
Right.
Because
Okay.
I've been stabbed enough times. Let's say, I do the deeper work of the heart, and now my back heart is open. I have released that trauma, and I have realized who I am. I am a soul. I can never be hurt.
Mm.
Now I walk in the world with my heart, front and back heart, wide open. Nothing disappoints me.
Right.
Nothing can hurt me. I'm not afraid of, like, will this person ditch me, or like, none of that exists there. I'm
Mm.
not even afraid of, like, economy collapsing.
Mm.
I just go into the world wide open. I'm a perfect magnet to have whatever I want. And one of the thing, like, very quickly, I want to share, because people will be like, well,
Yeah.
that's too good to be true. So
Exactly. Yeah.
last year,
Mm.
Memorial Day, it was August of 2023. I put a ring on it, and I decided that within next year, by August 19, 2024, I'll get married. Because I saw, like, I was doing the work, my clients are getting married.
Right.
And I said, Ali, it's time to make that happen. And also my mentor gave me a big push. She was like, you're not growing to a level that you want to if you're writing solo with a partner, because a partner can push your button, and then you know what else more work you need to do, and then you get to grow more. So I'm all about, can I grow more in this lifetime or not?
Right.
So I decided that is when I'm getting married. So my sisters come over November of that year. They're like, oh, so do you have anyone in mind? And I'm like, not yet. I am meeting people, but I'm getting married on August 19, 2024. So of course, what they do, what does your older sisters do? They laugh at you, they make fun of you. Fast forward comes the Memorial Day. Like for us, Memorial Day is coming up this Monday. We all get together and they're like, so Alia, when are you getting married? Like, just to make fun of it. I said August 19, 2024. They said, oh, okay, so it's only a few months away. I think we should order our dresses. Right? I said, yeah, go ahead, order your dresses. And my oldest sister, she goes, so who's the guy? I said, he'll come. But that is the day I'm getting married. It's like heart wide open, not afraid of, like, getting hurt, rejected, any
Mm-hmm.
of that. I made a decision. I meet him June 14,
Mm-hmm.
and we got like, I told him as soon as we met, we knew, like, before we even saw each other, we knew we are soulmates. So when we saw each
Oh,
other, it was just like, oh, you, yeah, I've been looking for you.
that's beautiful.
Finally found you. So it was very interesting for both of us. Like, we saw each other and we knew that, we are each other's partner.
Right.
So after 7 days of our first time we met, after the 7 days, the next time we met, he said, I told him, like, no one lasts in my dating life more than 14 days,
Mm.
because the way my energy is, I just kick them out. They either ghost or whatever, however it goes. And he's like, okay, I'll just propose you after 14 days. And I was like, okay, that is to a normal human being, they would be like, that is crazy, that is so shady, that is red flags.
Mm.
When a person lives with a heart wide open, they live in the plane of miracles.
Mm-hmm.
They don't live with the laws of nature anymore. They live beyond the laws of nature because they're connected to endless world. So he did put a ring on it on August 19. In September we got married, and I think my family's still in shock.
Brilliant. Wow. Wow. That's just
And
amazing. People,
it's like,
yeah.
I had a list of 30 characteristics that I created to, like, manifest him. I do teach that methodology in Attract Your
Yeah.
Soulmate workshop this year. I'm teaching it on August 15 or 16.
Mm-hmm.
So, one day he was just telling me, I just want to tell you about me. I'm this, I'm this, I'm that. I brought out that paper from my closet and I gave it to him. He read it. He's like, it's kind of like me. I said, I created you.
I created you.
I said, I created you. It's not that who you are. I created you. That's the
Yeah.
reality I created. So being able to create that, for me, it was more like, okay, if I can do this, I can make this happen. What else can I do in world? And Huma, just imagine if all of us start operating like that.
Wow.
We are not afraid of getting hurt. we are
Mm.
we are not worried about what tomorrow will bring, and we're like, I create my reality. I remember somebody, like, in the very beginning told me, it's like, oh, enjoy it, it lasts only, like, 6 months. And I looked at them and I said, you know what, I create my reality. If anything goes off after 6 months, that means something within me went off. So
Right.
I need to just stay focused within me. Like, am I believing in the magic of the heart, or am I going back to, like, conditioned mind that lives in limitations of the skull? Because
Right.
heart is connected with the endless. This whole unconditional self-love thing does make us truly the highest creation ever created, and we do get to control the nature. We
The
get to
outcomes of
control the
God.
planet. We get to control, like, once we get to a higher level, we can even control the angels. Like, that is what is available to us. We can do that. But I cannot do that by being this limited Alia, like who was born in Pakistan, who lives in this country with the limitation. I can do it when I can truly believe in I'm endless.
Mm,
And that feeling comes when I am connected to the endless energy within my heart.
so true. Oh my God, I'm so intrigued. Amazing. Thank you, Alia, for your time. I'm just gonna write
Thank you
in
so
your
much.
information. Alia, give me your, I don't know, how do you want people to contact you?
I mean, it could be Instagram or Facebook. They can just Google Ali at the Love Coach and they can find me.
All right, and you already have that up. But I'll just write that anyway. Alia, the love coach. So on. Oh, look at me spelling. Insta or
Facebook.
oh, okay. Oh, I don't know. Oh, there we go. There we go. Okay. Oh my God, I'm just like mind
Thank
blown. I mean, obviously, I know some of the
you
stuff,
so
but the way
much.
you said, how you can just create the liquid reality. I love that concept, and to apply it. And yes, it is work. But just, I mean, if you could give us a tip for today before I let you go, what would it be? How do we start?
I would say start asking yourself if I am not this, like whatever this is. It could be like, as you said, I am Huma, I'm a mom, I'm a wife, I'm a daughter. If you're none of this, who are you beyond this? And that
Right.
question just starts taking you somewhere different, in a different world. I I started my deeper journey with that question, and like till this day, it just keeps taking me deeper and deeper and deeper.
Who are you? Right. What's your ID as an individual? Like, who are you? Yeah. That's very interesting. Thank you so much, Alia. Does anybody have any questions before we let Alia go?
And please feel free to post your question as a comment, and I will come back and I can check that, or DM me your questions. This is my life mission. I'm here to show the world what love truly is. So your questions are going to help me.
Yeah, if you're watching live, put the questions in now. If you're watching this on replay, please leave your questions in the comments, or you can contact Alia directly. Alia, the love coach. I love that. Thank you so much, Alia, for your time, for giving us that wonderful explanation, and just creating that, or opening the window, as you said, and just sticking our head out and just starting to think about what actually love is. And like you said, it's the emotional love is what most of us are, what we feel and what we're trained to look for. But the energetic love is what we should be experiencing and working with and
Yeah,
operating. Correct? Did I get
yeah,
that right? Yes.
yeah.
Awesome.
That
Okay,
is true.
beautiful.
Thank you so much, Huma, for this
Thank you,
opportunity, and
Alia.
thank you to
Thank you so
everyone who watched it. Please share it with whoever you love so much already.
absolutely. Yeah. All right. You take care, Alia. Enjoy the rest of
Thank
your day.
you.
Take care.
Bye.
Bye, everybody. Bye, Alia.